Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Jackass Retro. My name is Matt, and this is our usually twice a week postcard what sold video. But for this week, because with the holiday and being in Q4 and time restrictions, we're going to do things a little bit differently. So this week there were 88 total postcards sold from the last video on last Sunday and this one today. And that is too many to go over. Even for two videos, it's Sunday. I don't want to do it. So today we are going to go over only the cards for the whole week that sold for $10 or more. Hopefully it'll keep the video a little bit shorter. And we'll talk a little bit on each postcard, what may have caused it to go for a little bit more money. What I think was the sort of selling point of that particular card. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Hopefully I can find our screen. I think that's the one. That looks like it. There we go. Okay, so this here is Depot Bay, Oregon. And I'm pretty sure the selling point on this one was the location and the particular view. I've sold a number of Depot Bay, Oregon postcards. I didn't see any like this that had sold or were available at the time I listed it. It did take a couple of months to list or to sell. Wasn't right away. I listed this over the summer. And yeah, so this one was up for $15.95. I had recently done a ending of the listing and sell similar, and it sold pretty shortly after the new listing went up. So $15.95. We'll keep looking at the keywords here. So this one, Depot Bay, Oregon, old dock. So that that reminds me, this dock is not there anymore. So fishing excursion boats, chrome postcards. So yeah, you want to do your research on all that kind of stuff. And by the way, the next edition of the Postcard 101, which is basically researching your postcards for your listings and doing so in an efficient way. We're going to be going over that in the next video. So make sure you're subscribed and you're watching the Postcard 101 videos. Yeah, we'll get into the next one card here. All right. So this is I'm not surprised really that this one went for what it did. I've sold a number from this exact location. This is the Marshall and Dead Desperado from Frontier Village, a now defunct theme park or amusement park in San Jose, California. So because it no longer exists, I mean, that's one of those things that you want to look out for. People definitely collect these places of the past. And what great contact. You know, it's got a Western theme. It's definitely from like the 1960s. I mean, look at this get up right here. I love the whole sign that says crime doesn't pay. Yeah, it's just cute. And the Lightning Express wheelbarrow to haul him off to jail. So yeah, this has got kind of everything going for it, right? You've got amusement parks, which sell. You've got Western themed 60s. Doesn't exist anymore. Kind of the perfect storm, right? It is unposted. It's a Frontier Village souvenir postcard. They probably sold these at the park. $11.95 plus shipping. Sailing at Capitol Beast Lake. So this is one of those where I just think that it's a common subject, but a uncommon view. I couldn't find any out there like this. Whenever I can't find the same card that I'm looking for, and there's plenty, I can research plenty here. Sailing at Capitol Beast Lake, Lincoln, Nebraska, like any of these things I could find, right? I could find no postcard with this image or a similar content. That's usually a good indicator that you might have something special. Not always, but usually, right? This one, not without its issues. You can see there's a horizontal crease right there. But because of the rarity, I priced it at $19.95. I did not have a make offer on it, and it sold relatively quickly, probably about a month. Once again, this is one that I did find, but it comes up pretty infrequently. So because it comes up infrequently and it has 100% sell-through rate, I went at the top of what I thought, or near the top of what I thought I could get for it, which is at this point $19.95 plus $1 shipping. I like this $19.95 price point because it keeps you out of having to go first class, and having a $1 shipping price on your listing versus a $3 or $4 shipping price is really appealing from a buyer perspective, in my opinion. Could I go, 28 to 35 range on this card plus the first class shipping? Sure, I could. Is it going to sit for a lot longer? Probably. Might I get a few bucks more out of it? Maybe. Or I can convert at a price that I am confident I can get for it. I did not put a make offer on this, and it sold for my full asking price of $19.95, which is actually, incidentally, a little bit higher than the other cards had sold for on average. So remember that when you're doing your comps, it's a guide, right? Your comps are a tool. They're not a crutch. Sometimes you are going to want to, go higher, and sometimes you may want to go lower. Maybe yours isn't in as good condition, or maybe one is posted and yours is not, or, you've got to weigh a whole lot of different factors when you're looking these things up. But you got to remember, just because somebody sold one for $10 doesn't mean that's what it's worth, and it doesn't mean that's what you want to list it for. You have to take in a number of factors and try to get as many little points of data in your brain that you can use to make that decision. And again, I'll reference what's coming up in the research. But this one here, the Poro building in St. Louis, take a look on WorthPoint and you'll see what I mean. Next up, this is a Billiken company. They had a number of postcards with this image. There's an interesting history behind it. I cannot recount it at the moment. I had a couple of these come in a lot that I won from a Goodwill auction. The other one sold almost right away. This one took a little while. I had it up at $19.95. I sent out a 15% offer. Somebody took it. So its final price is $16.96 plus shipping. Now, what sold this one is this Billiken moniker down here. These are widely collected, this exact theme. So keep an eye out. Look for these. There's ones where this little figure is facing forward. There's variations on this image right here, but it's this chubby baby Billiken figure, and I think it's like good luck or something like. I honestly I can't remember. But yeah, that's the price here. So, even within the niche of postcards, there's countless niches of other collectible things that you can find, and this is one of those. This one should look familiar. This is looking across. This is Lake Gerard in the Adirondack Mountains. There we go. Yep, there we go. Eagle postcard. I sold this card, exact card. You'll see it in a video maybe a week ago. I think on the last video or the one before that. So I knew what this was gonna go for. The same person who bought the other one bought this one. I sold it to him for the same price, which is $14. And sometimes this is, your experience is what's going to clue you in as to what you can get out of a card, right? So, sometimes you just got to, if you've already done the work once, right? No reason to go do it again. You may want to spot check your work from time to time, but, you don't have to reinvent the wheel on every card you're listing. Here's a nice Christmas postcard. Now, this one I listed a little bit more for a couple of reasons. I have listed every single Christmas postcard that I have currently. So Why is this one more valuable? Well, I think the different color cardstock is probably what did it. It's got this really nice sort of red. It's not gilt, but it's like a foiled red printing on it. It's really cool looking. Yeah, that's, I think, probably what sold it, is the fact that it's something different from most postcards. Sold for, let me make sure I got this right, $15.95. It is, I think yeah, winchback. So, that could have done it as well. There's people who collect the winchback cards. It's, the robins here, probably another thing that may have helped it. You always want to make sure you can name the bird in your listing. So, yeah, very happy with this one. Pleasant Mountain and Highland Lake in Bridgeton, Maine. Or is it Bridgeton, Maine? It's in Maine. Now this one, again, this is purely speculation. I've only got my gut, but it's unposted, undivided back. So nice, crisp, sort of specimen style card. And there wasn't a lot out there. I think there was a couple that were listed for much, much higher. And for something that is relatively mundane, I didn't think it was going to be quite up there. I put mine out at $14.95 plus shipping. I didn't see this exact view either, so this was a little unique. It sold, within a few days for my full asking price. So, look for the stuff that, yes, you might not see the exact same card. And to me, when you don't find an exact comp, you can't, you've done your best, you can't find the exact card, then you got to look at, well, what makes this special, right? Why is it? Is it the location? Is it the image? Is it the subject? Is there something that is going to make this one unique? And is there somebody who's going to agree with that and want to pay a premium? So here's one that's a little unique. It's a linen postcard. This is Inyo County, California. And, it's not necessarily that alone that makes it special, but it's definitely one of the things. The fact that it's a multi-view, there's 3 views. We have Death Valley here, and then we have the basically the 3 like sort of topographical, geological wonders, right? I think this is the Mount Whitney, and then Badwater, right? So it's just a cool looking, unique linen postcard. There's not a ton of these out there, and I priced mine, I believe, at $14.95, and that's what it sold for. Or actually, pardon me, I sent out an offer. It sold for $12.45. So yeah, happy with that. Now the next 2 cards, I sold 2 cards exactly the same. This is gonna have to go to the back. Cohasset in Massachusetts. This is the oldest church there, built in 17 something early. There were other postcards of this church, not this exact view, and the ones that had sold were very strong sellers. Now this is an old postcard. It's slightly smaller than the standard size. It's undivided back. Thank goodness somebody gave me this gift right on the back here. I had 2 of this exact same card. I put them both up for $19.95, and they both sold. And what were my indicators here? Well, it was 1, this church is a strong seller, and 2, there are none of this card available, and I can find none sold. So, popular subject, rare image. That's all you really need to know. All right, Southern Depot in Salisbury, North Carolina. Again, this is just has to do with the scarcity of the particular subject, right? There's not a lot of postcards of this railway depot. If you guys have watched previous videos, you know that railway depots are definitely a popular subject for postcards, both in for collectors and in production, right? They made a lot of them, but the ones that are less common are the ones that are going to be more desirable. This one is less common, therefore more desirable. The railroad itself is not unfamiliar, uncommon. This is the Southern Railroad. This is one of the major-ish railroads, not the biggest ones, but it's not small. Yeah, very happy. So $12 plus shipping is what I took on this one. There's the second of those cards. So that one also sold for 20 bucks. All right, here we have a chrome postcard, and a lot of people a lot of times think that chromes are worthless, but here is proof they are not. So this is Los Baños, California, the Pancake House Diner and Sunstar Motel. So we've got a dual view, Best Western sign. We've got a diner. Look at the we can see the part of the atomicness of that sign there. Super classic, like 70s diner scene. Just cool, right? What about this is not nostalgic? Who hasn't stopped to eat at a restaurant like this, right? So, or stayed at a motel like this. This is a pure nostalgia. So this one sold. It was up for $14.95. Somebody sent me an offer for $10, and I took it. So there you go. Maybe you stayed at the hotel. Maybe you like the cars out front. Maybe you like pancakes. Maybe you like the rocket ship and star up here. I mean, all of those things. There's so much going for it. I really do like this one. It speaks to me. All right. Bathing at Santa Cruz. This is, I mean, when you have the image itself, this is probably not Santa Cruz. There's probably other postcards with this image that are, say, it somewhere else. I mean, this could just as easily be, Jersey or Florida or whatever. But I love the whole, like, fully clothed up to the neck, down to the ankles, and then just sort of the action of this. So in this is one of those where I think that the motion, the action, the content here of what you're looking at, the image itself is what sold, because it's interesting. It draws you in, right? I like this. I think that's what sold it, right? You've got this very sort of juxtaposition of this wild play with these, sort of very extremely conservative costumes. I mean, look, this kid over here looks like he's wearing a 10-gallon hat. So there we go. So yeah, 1995. Where did this one come from? I don't know who Lundberg is, but I don't know which collection this may have been. All right, here we have Alaska. Again, really cool perspective shot, right? This is not straight down the street. It's kind of this, like, from the hotel room sort of view. There's a number of other views of this area, but none that I could find of this exact view. So you've got the VW bugs on the street, buses on the street. Everyone likes that. You've got the cars. Look how empty this place is, right? There's, 100 yards in between buildings. I mean, that's Alaska for you. So this is Haines, Alaska. I've sold Haines, Alaska postcards before, some real photos and some others. As you can guess, there's not a lot that you can make a postcard of in in Haynes, or there wasn't. So if you don't have a lot of subjects, you're probably not going to have a lot of postcards. And I think just the location and the image itself, just it's a cool image, is what sold this one. So $14.95, very happy. Christmas greetings. All right, so I call these Art Deco. You may disagree with me, others may disagree with me, but I've been listing these ones that have similar images as Art Deco, and they've been selling consistently. So either I'm way off and way undervaluing my cards, or I'm using the right titles and I'm getting the right customers. I love these women with the big hats, like ready to go down this steep hill. Honestly, it's a great Christmas postcard with a unique, very poppy color deco image. And there's a lot of people who collect Art Deco imagery, and this is right up their alley. So a Christmas message, wishing you a Merry Christmas. So yeah, there we go. I actually picked this up, I believe, right off of eBay or perhaps Mercari. So what did it sell for? $12.99 plus shipping. Here we have a bird's eye view of Enfield, Massachusetts. Again, this one comes down to, I saw a good sell-through for this location. I didn't see this particular card available. I went $19.95 plus shipping, no offer, and that's what it sold for. It's an older card from, again, as we're familiar now, collection of Mr. Herbert Love. So yeah, just a nice card, unique enough to be able to garner that kind of money. If you're starting out, I recommend you just research everything. It's the only way you're going to get an answer. And just because you don't find something doesn't mean that what you have doesn't have value. Sometimes not finding it is, if you've exhausted your options, is the best. All right. This one's a little perplexing. One, why did I price it the way I did? I must have realized something when I researched it that I have forgotten. It is a birthday Winchback embossed. I don't believe this to be a John Winch postcard, although it could be. It definitely has those characteristics. It's nice, right? It's just a nice, happy birthday postcard. A lot of birthday postcards don't do great. Why did this one do great? Sometimes you just take the money and run. It could be the flowers, it could be the scene, it could be the fact that it's this full printed card that has just nice, good eye appeal. Sometimes it's all it takes is eye appeal. Like Mark says over at SM Postcards, people shop with their eyes, right? He sold a card that had a one-letter subject line. That can happen. So this card spoke to the right person at the right moment, and it sold. All right, we've got a section of Montreat from the Alba Hotel in Montreat, North Carolina. I hope that I am saying that correctly, but I believe that I am. Again, there were other postcards out there with the subject. I didn't find this exact view. There was a strong sale history for the Alba Hotel in Montreat, North Carolina. There's a strong sales history for Montreat, North Carolina. The age of this card, the uniqueness of the particular view. There's some interesting postal business going on here that I don't even understand or will get into. This is a 1, 2, 3, 6 bar cancel. I know that. So yeah, I forget the exact name of this one, but it's got a name. So yeah, this one sold. I took an offer. It was up for $19.95. Make offer. Sold for $15. Okay, so a couple of things on this one. We've got some interesting postal stuff going on here on the front, but I've sold this one before. North Carolina in general has been pretty strong for me lately, but this exact card is the Biltmore House from the South Terrace in Asheville, North Carolina. I've sold some older Biltmore House cards as well. They can do well. Not all of them do, but this one was up there. Has some condition issues, obviously, but still sold for $11.95. Again, this has to do with a little bit of experience, a little bit of the subject matter. Because I've sold this location before, I kind of had a hunch to get it up there for a little bit more money. And finally, let's first give a shout out and a thank you to Cameron over at Gravity Goods YouTube channel, who furnished me with this and a number of other postcards that I have been selling regularly for profit. If you've been watching these videos, they seem to show up just about every one. Won't happen forever because eventually I will have sold them all. Thank you, Cameron. Unposted, unused, Whitney made with the Gladling Jewel angel, little kid carrying some trees. Yeah, unused Christmas postcard. I mean, somebody could get this card, send it to their friend. Maybe they'll mount it in a more modern greeting card. Maybe they'll cut out the angel and put it on top of their tree. Who knows? Anything could happen. Very happy with this one. It sold for $14 plus shipping. So that is going to be it. I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll be back to our normal schedule of programming next week. We'll be doing 2 videos for the next couple of weeks. So if this is your first time here and you like this sort of content, even if it doesn't matter how many times you've been here, if you like this kind of content, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment. There's other ways you can support the channel down below. Keep an eye out for part 3. What was that beep? Oh, Buster's sitting on the keyboard. We'll see you on the next one, everyone. Have a good one.